Hello, hello, and hello to you and everyone. We are back. Hello, everyone, and we are back with another webinar for you. Yeah! I know you guys are just cheering in the background. Yay! We can't wait! We can't wait! Pioneers for Hope presents the Cow Fresh Keep It Fresh online webinar. You already know. This webinar is going to be focusing on cultural foods. So how often are you guys tired of eating the same thing over and over again? The same apple, the same broccoli, it gets boring. And most of the time when we find ourselves getting bored with the food we have at home, guess what we do? We go out to eat and we spend unnecessary money. So that's what this webinar is going to focus on today, is focusing on fruits and vegetables from other cultures. So promoting diversity and inclusion, learning about other cultures, but in addition, incorporating new fruits and vegetables that we can add to our everyday meals and spice it up, get new flavors, make it more interesting instead of being just the day to day. So we're going to learn about cultural foods. And here at Pioneers for Hope, we have this model that CalFresh brings you culture. Why? Because food brings you culture. So many times when we sit and we think about the holidays, Thanksgiving, Easter, we think about Christmas, we talk about the food that we eat, the food that we sit around and we gather together, because food brings us together, food brings us culture, and CalFresh can give you food assistance so you can go out and buy your own groceries and buy the cultural foods, the foods that you like at no expense to you because you can use your CalFresh benefits. So CalFresh brings you culture. That's our motto here at Pioneers for Hope. My name is Charmaine Robinson. There is my face. So now you know the face behind the voice. I'm a virtually programmer for Pioneer for Hope. So basically, I put together these webinars for you. I also help put together some social media posting, and I also put together virtual workshops. Given the pandemic, things are going virtual. I put together some workshops so we can still gather, have fun, and engage with each other and feel like a part of the community, even though everything is so virtual at this point in time. So now you know the face behind the name. And now you know the face behind the voice. And so please like and comment. Please, guys, give me ideas. I keep making these webinars, trying to make it interesting and fun for everyone. So please give me your ideas. Please give me your feedback. And let me know what you guys want me to present on next time. So just like we have our movie trailers when you go to the movies, we have our webinar trailers. Okay, you like the pun? You like the play on words? Okay, I thought you would. So for those of you who already know about Pioneers for Hope, you already have your CalFresh, you already know the learning objectives, you can go ahead and skip this part of the video. Okay, this video is meant for you. You can pause it, rewind it, fast forward. You can go at your own pace. And so for those of you who want to skip on ahead, go ahead. But for those of you who would like to learn about these things, I think it's really important. A lot of East Bay students are not familiar with Pioneers for Hope is, what my program that I work for is all about. And some of you guys still haven't applied for CalFresh. And so it'll be good for you guys to listen to these announcements and for me to give you this information so you can utilize it and incorporate into your lives for your benefit. So what is Pioneers for Hope? Well, you can go ahead and pause this video and you can read our mission statement for yourself at your own pace. But basically, Pioneers for Hope is that we are a service offered at East Bay for East Bay students. We help students with basic needs. So we offer services like CalFresh Assistance so you can get food benefits. We offer emergency assistance. Let's say you are homeless or you're in need of shelter, temporary housing. And We also offer the food pantry, and the food pantry is open this summer. All you have to do is make an appointment through the online Bay Advisor. You show up at your appointment time with your student ID, and we have a plethora of fruits, vegetables, your favorite snacks, your mac and cheese. We have everything you want and more at our food pantry, and we have it at both the Hayward and Concord campuses as well. So you can go ahead and take out your smartphone and you can scan the QR code to the right, or you can type in the UR link, or simply when you go to the school website, type in Pioneers for Hope and you'll find our main page. We have a plethora of resources and programs to provide your students with. So even if you think you're to yourself, I'm good, I don't really need anything, still check out our website because you never know what services, what programs we have that might benefit you. And also, if you like the idea of doing what I do, you like the idea of working at the pantry, we are hiring this summer as well. So check out our website. If you're looking for a student position here at East Bay, you can do what I do. We have other popular opportunities as well. We have a graphic designer. We have analysis. So if you're in the business field and you like doing analysis on, so go ahead and check out our website because we offer so much. I cannot emphasize that enough. Check out the website. You won't be disappointed. And of course, have you applied for CalFresh? I will be honest with you guys. When I first heard about CalFresh, I called my dad up and I was like, Dad, do you think I can apply for CalFresh? And he told me, No, you're a student. Students can get CalFresh. I was like, Oh, okay. And I just took his word for it. When I went to Pioneers for Hope, they told me, No, students qualify. Students can totally be eligible. And students are most likely to be eligible to apply for CalFresh and get CalFresh benefits. And I was like, whoa. So there's a lot of misconceptions, a lot of myths about CalFresh. And the best way to bust that myth is to apply. The application only takes 10 to 15 minutes. And if you're like me, and if you can sit down and watch an episode of Netflix, you can apply for CalFresh. Applying for CalFresh is just like half an episode of Netflix. So you can sit down and watch a whole episode of Netflix, which is 30 minutes. You can take half of that time and apply for CalFresh. CalFresh is food government assistance. So you apply, and once you're awarded, you get a stipend up to $200 a month to pay for your food and groceries. And let me tell you, it's been such a relief because there's so much financial burden on us students, and it's so hard sometimes with our personal circumstances. So it's been so nice not having that burden on me where I know I can pay and get my food every month and I don't have to worry about that. It's one less stress on my shoulder. So please apply. Take out your smartphones, scan the UR code, type in the UR link, only 10 to 15 minutes. You'll be happy you did it. I promise you, and help us reach our goal. Here at Pioneers for Hope, we have a goal of having 1,500 students apply for CalFresh. Right now, we're only at 200 students, so we have a long way to go. So please apply for CalFresh right now and help us reach our goal of having 1,500 students apply for CalFresh. We gotta meet this goal. We gotta make it happen. Okay, folks? All right, so now we're moving on to our webinar. But before we dig in, just one last thing about our webinar. We got to make it educational, folks. We got to make sure we're learning something. We are in college. We got to learn. So our learning objectives is number one, the knowledge of fruits and vegetables that are seasoned. We got to know when our fruits and vegetables are seasoned so we get them right when they're prime, they're ripe, and they're fresh. Number two, how to easily identify whether a fruit or a vegetable is bad. There's nothing worse than going to the grocery store, getting dressed, getting in the car, driving all the way there, spending a whole hour at the grocery store. Then you gotta wait 20 minutes at the checkout line because they're going so slow and there's only 2 lanes open. We all been there. We know what I'm talking about. Just to come home and found out the apples that you bought are bad. That has happened to me. I know it's happened to you a few times. So that's why I put together this webinar, so we can easily identify when a fruit or vegetable is bad and save us the hassle, because we got so much going on. We need less hassle in our lives, right? And number three, how to properly store your fruits and vegetables for longevity. I know you guys are with me when you just went to the grocery store and then you look and the broccoli is already bad. It's like, I just went to the grocery store. How could this broccoli be bad? Well, maybe it's because you didn't properly store it correctly in your refrigerator, and that's why it went bad. Especially the summertime, our food seems to go rotten a lot faster because of the summer heat waves. So that's why we're going to go over these three objectives. We're going to learn and we're going to focus on cultural foods, and this is going to be a fun time. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So right away, this vegetable should look familiar to you. It is the cousin of ginger, but it has some different properties to it, and we're going to go over that right now. So, health benefits. It's always important when you're considering what to eat and what you're buying. Consider what benefits it has. What are you buying? We want to make sure that we're eating healthier, but we want to make sure we're eating smarter. We want to get more bang for our buck. We want to make sure the food that we're getting are loaded with nutrition, vitamins, things that are going to help promote our lives, help us feel better, help us feel healthier, and basically just feel good. Do you just want to feel good, right? And the food we eat should make us feel good. So the health benefits that is anti-inflammatory. It boosts your immune system, lower cholesterol, digestive health, brain health, antioxidants, and it helps with your skin and nails. So it is loaded with tons of benefits. So this is where it is originated from. It's in season all year round. It looks woody with brown skin and covered in dark greens, similar to its cousin ginger. But this is where it differs. It differs by its taste. So compared to its cousin ginger, which we might be more familiar with, it has a sharper, spicier, but slightly more peppery taste. It sounds really fancy. One more time, sharper, spicier, and slightly more peppery taste. So it's a lot more fancier. And we can tell by when it's ripe or unripe. So when it's ripe, we want to have firm roots with bright skin color. Okay, no blemishes. And you can test this by picking up the vegetable. Don't be afraid to pick up the vegetables. You are allowed to pick up the vegetables, okay? Don't be afraid to test because that's the best way to tell if it's ripe or unripe by touch. So you pick it up and you place it in your hand and you're going to look at the roots. You're going to test it. You're going to look at it. Make sure it's either moist or dry, but firm to the touch. And when I mean firm and like a handshake, you want a nice firm handshake. It doesn't feel too messy. It doesn't feel too hard like a brick. That's how you know when it's ripe. When it comes to vegetables, there's a spectrum. If it feels hard like a brick, then it's not ripe and it needs more time. If it's too soft and messy, that means it's going bad. So you want that happy medium in between. So when it's unripe, the ends are going to be soft and messy. Okay. And you want to avoid bruising, discolors, messy, soft, moldy. And if you are ever in doubt, it is okay to ask the store clerk. It's okay to ask the produce. It's okay to ask anyone who works there because you are a value customer and it's okay to ask and they'll tell you and they'll help you out. So the thing to know about this particular vegetable and how you want to store it is there's two ways. You can store it in your refrigerator or you can freeze it if you want it to last longevity. So if you're going to store it in your refrigerator, first you're going to wrap it in a damp cloth. This is going to help it keep it moist while it's in the refrigerator. Then you're going to place it in a plastic bag and you're going to store it in the crisper of your refrigerator. A lot of people don't realize this, but your refrigerator has different sections to it. It has a top, middle, bottom section. And the reason why this is important is because how it distributes you the cooler temperature. So typically the bottom of the refrigerator is going to be the coolest part of the refrigerator. And that's why you want to put your vegetables in the bottom section of the refrigerator because it's the coolest and it's going to allow your vegetables to be preserved for a longer time. So if you store in your refrigerator, this vegetable is going to be good up to 2 to 3 weeks. So that's a long time. versus if you want to freeze it. Let's just say you have a really big celebration happening next month and you want to save it for that particular time and event. What you're going to do is you're going to cut the unpeeled root in slices into a 1/4 inch thick slice. You're going to wrap it in plastic and then you're going to freeze it for up to 3 months. My recommendation is not to wait 3 months. You're welcome to do whatever you please, but I recommend you're gonna freeze it, at least eat it within the next month because you bought it. You should eat it. You should enjoy it, right? Okay, and so for this segment, we are going to introduce a new topic. We're going to talk about cooking. Because these are new cultural foods that we may not be familiar with, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, but what can I even eat with this? How do I even cook this? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. There is a plethora of ways that you can cook this. You can slice it and infuse it. You can chop and dice it and add it to your salads and dips. You can ground it and blend it into a nice curry. And right here to the left, I got this picture. I'm going to show you the recipe link where I got these recipes from, and then you can click on the link and you can look up the recipes if you want to. But you can use this and you can add it to a sticky Asian pork ribs. Now look how good that looks. Let's take a moment. This looks so good in this picture. I wish I could snap my fingers and make this picture come to life because it looks so delicious. So you can incorporate this into all of your meals and you can look up recipes and find out more information about this. And it's really fun to learn about other culture. It's fun to learn about where it originated fun and it's fun to incorporate into our meals and just make it more interesting, make it more fun and delicious. So this is my favorite fruit, dragon fruit. And the reason why they call it dragon fruit is because if you look at it, you can see the green leaves that kind of look like scale, and it has that pink outer shell. And so it kind of looks like a dragon fruit, and that's why they call it dragon fruit. Now, to be honest with you, if someone were to hand me this in real life without me knowing what it is, I would assume that it's like a plant or an egg of some sort. But now you guys know it's dragon fruit and it's really good. Its health benefits is that it has dietary fiber, it has probiotic, it lowers your blood sugar, it's full of vitamin C's and antioxidants. So it is really good, lots of health benefits, and it looks really cool. Plus, I just like the name, dragon fruit. So it originated from Mexico, Central America, and South America. It's in season during the summer. It has the pink outer skin with the green vines, and its taste is that it's mildly sweet and mildly sour. A lot of times when we talk about fruits, I talk to my friends, my family, they're always a miss of us. We like fruits more on the sweeter side, or we like fruits more on the sour side. This is a nice happy medium that will make the whole family happy. It falls right in the middle. It's not too sour, but not too sweet. And so it'll make even the pickiest of eaters happy. Guarantee. You can tell that it's ripe when it has a bright, nice, even color. So we don't want polka dots, okay? Polka dots, discoloration, that's not good. Leave it at the store. A few blemishes are nice, but I'm talking about like Dalmatian polka dots on the outer shell. You do not want that. You can test this by placing it on the palm of your hand and you press the skin with your thumb and it's still full firm, okay, firm to the touch. When it's unripe, it's gonna have a dull, darker skin color. And you place your thumb on it, it's gonna feel really hard like a brick. That means it's unripe. And you wanna make sure that you avoid eating excess bruising. So if it has like a big dent on it, if it has any punctures, holes, you wanna leave it right where you found it. Don't take it home with you because it's not good. So how can you store dragon fruit? Well, you have two options. You can either store it on your countertop. So you can place it on your countertop for the next 2 to 3 days. If you place it on your countertop, make sure that the fruit is not cut or peel. Once you cut or peel it, you are exposing the flesh, so the fruit, the part that we eat, to the air, and it makes it rot faster. So if you're gonna put it on your countertop, just make sure you eat it within the next 2 to 3 days. Or you can store it in your refrigerator. So if you're gonna store it in your refrigerator, you can have it sliced, you can have it whole, and you can just put it in a sealed container in your refrigerator. So easy to store, and it should be good for at least 5 to 7 days. So you wanna make sure with all fruits that you eat it relatively soon. In cooking applications, you can use dragon fruit. You can make it into a blended smoothie. You can make sweet dragon fruit salsa. You can make fruit salads, poke bowls. And if you're really, really fancy with an ice cream maker at home, you can make dragon fruit ice cream. But look at this picture to the left, this dragon fruit rainbow rose. It just looks so colorful. It looks so pretty. And you can incorporate dragon fruit even into your basic dishes. You can make a spring roll and you can add the dragon fruit just to kind of give it a new taste, a new flavor, and add something new. Give yourself some variety. And this meal right here is vegan, is vegetarian. Even the people who are meat eaters will enjoy this dish. Is this so good? And so the next festival we're going to talk about is the Thai eggplant. Now, I intentionally put this picture here because we're all familiar with the traditional purple eggplant, but the Thai eggplant is those green ones right there. Now, to me, I thought that was interesting because they kind of look like little tiny pumpkins, but they're actually Thai eggplants. They are good for dietary fiber, potassium, and have antioxidants, magnesium, so they're loaded with lots of good stuff that make us healthy. They originated from India and they're in season all year round. They're cylinder and small with a bright green exterior. They taste slightly bitter, but before you knock it, don't knock it before you try it. Remember, with everything from fruits and vegetables, you can spice it up. You can add it with something else to combine it. You can add honey if you want. You can add some spices. So just because it might taste slightly bitter doesn't mean you write it out completely. It just means you might have to spice it up to your preference. Or if you guys like things more on the bitter side, this might be perfect for you as is. So you can tell about it's ripe when the eggplant has this green, white body, totally white, totally green, sometimes even purplish. When ripe, sometimes it turns blue. And once again, when you're in doubt, go ahead and ask. Now, another way you can tell if you are allowed, you can cut it open and you can look at the seeds. So if you see a dark ball of seeds in the center, it indicates it's a ripe eggplant and you can remove them, you can discard the seeds. And I'll show you an example on the next slide. If the ripe, you can tell it's unripe by the seeds are white. So you look to the picture to the left, you can see that the seeds are kind of white, and that means that it's unripe. You can also tell by looking at the Thai eggplants. You can see how they're primarily green. That means it's unripe. So going back to the previous slide, you want it like this. You want it with the whitest, you want the green. We want that kind of stripy color where it looks kind of like a pumpkin and it's completely green, that means it's unripe. And you can also tell by cutting it open, looking at the seeds. So when it has these kind of white seeds, it may be unripe, so you can't just bite into it. But you can also use it for curry. So just because it's unripe doesn't mean you can't use it at all. It just means that you might want to use it for curry rather than just chomping down and eating on it. And of course, you want to avoid excessive bruising. If it's got a lot of bruising, it was messy, if it's soft, moldy, you guys know the deal by now. And you want to leave it what? Right where you found it at the store. So before I get into the information, I just want to show you this picture to the left. So see how the seeds are darker color? So we're going to go back again, white, dark, a nice dark tan color. This is what it means. And look how each of these have the white stripes, white stripes, white stripes. And the other ones are like green, green. So when you're in doubt, that means you can ask the person and they'll gladly help you. So when the seeds are dark in the center, that means it's ripe. And that means you can remove and discard the seeds because you probably don't want to chomp down and eat all these seeds. So when it comes to storing them, you can store them at the bottom of the refrigerator. So that's the crisper drawer, and they can be freshly stored up to a week. Or if they're slightly over mature eggplants and you plan to eat them within the 3 days. So let's just say you bought them and they're a little bit on the mushy side and you're not really sure if it's fresh or if it's a little bit more ripe. If you're unsure, then you can just make sure you eat them within the next 3 days and you'll be fine. So what can you do with this? Just like eggplants, you can eat them raw. You can bring them to your job and you can just chop into them. You can chop it up into salads. Just like your traditional eggplant, you can grill it, fry it, bake it, puree it, stew it, stuff it, pickle it. I mean, like you can do anything with it. Um, Lots of meals that you can add it to. They're great for curry dishes. They're great for pickling. And I love this example to the left is the fried Thai eggplant. So you can literally just fry it up and serve it as is. And it looks so delicious. I'm looking at this picture. And once again, I wish I could snap my fingers. It looks so delicious. So there's plenty of things you can do. And guess what? You can buy all of this with your CalFresh benefits. So make sure you apply. And so we've been to Asia, we've been to India, and we've been to South America, Mexico. Now we're going to Africa. See how I tie it all this in? You guys, like, I try so hard for you guys. I hope you guys are noticing the details. So what I want to talk about with the African yams is that they are anti-inflammatory. They lower cholesterol. They're good for your brain health. With all the studying and math and science and English, history, all the studying that we do, we need some brain power. Trust me. I know you guys feel the same way I do. We need to boost up this brain power from the last semester so we can go into the fall semester kicking butt and getting those A's, 4.0s, right? So, and it has anti-cancer properties and is good for your digestive health. So the thing about African yams is that it originates from Africa, Asia, the Caribbeans. There is season all year. They look big, long, and in a cylinder shape, and they have that brown to tan kind of rough, scaly skin. They taste mild, earthy flavor with a bit of subtle sweetness. So I don't know about everyone, but for me personally, like sweet potatoes and yams, they tend to be a little bit too sweet for me. So I think the African yams would be perfect for me because it has a more subtle sweetness. And I think I will prefer that. So I definitely want to get the African yams a try. They're ripe when they are firm to the touch. They have small to no cracks. The skin is highly textured, but it's not wrinkled. So what that means is if you're holding it in your hand and you take this brown part, the skin, and you can pluck it, and if you can stress it out, that means it's wrinkled, and that means it's not ripe, and you want to put it back where you found it. Okay, that's my slogan of the day. Now, when it's unripe, it's going to be too hard. So whenever my analogy is going to be hard like a brick or like a baseball, or it's going to be too soft and messy like Play-Doh. So we don't want that. So we're going to leave it where we found it and avoid whole soft spots if it has any serious indentation, if it has cracked skin. We don't want it. Leave it where you found it. So one important thing to know about storing African yams is that you can store it in your dry, cool, well-ventilated area like a pantry away from moistures, and it'll be good for up to 3 weeks. You do not want to freeze or refrigerate raw yams because they are unedible raw. Say it with me. You do not want to freeze or refrigerate raw yams. The African yams. This only applies to the African yams because they are not edible raw. So if you're going to refrigerate them or freeze them, you have to cook them before. So you can refrigerate cook African yams for about 5 days, or you can freeze it. And I'm going to let you pause if you're interested in freezing because I want to speed this up along. I don't want this webinar to take too long. So if you're interested in how you can freeze it, go ahead and pause the video and you can read the information for yourself. So once again, do not eat it raw. Similar to meat, because African yams, they have natural properties and proteins. And just like meat, you wouldn't want to eat meat raw, right? Certain meat, you don't eat raw like chicken, beef. You have to cook it beforehand. So because the natural properties of African yams, you need to cook it before you can eat it. And so just like traditional potatoes and yams, you can boil it, you can fry it, you can roast it, you can pound it. And I love this picture to the left, where it's a traditional African dish called African yam porridge. And it is so easy, quick to make. I'll give you the recipe website at the end of the presentation. It looks so delicious, and you can try something from a different culture, and it's really good. It looks so delicious. So I know these items tend to be considered more exotic, but you can find these items at your local farmers market. And the farmers market is a great place because you know exactly where it's coming from. You can talk to the individual who grew that vegetable from a little seed to what you're holding in your hand. They have all the information, so you can ask them questions. And trust me, they'll be so happy, so invigorated that you're asking them questions. How do I know this is ripe? How do I know if this is sweet? How do I know it's going to be bitter? How do I cook this for my kids at home? They're very picky eaters. They love to answer your questions. Even at the grocery store. I used to work at the grocery store in the produce section, and I love when people ask me questions about my job and asking about my tomatoes because I love helping people. And so don't be afraid to approach them. And of course, you can use Amazon Fresh. And even though Amazon Fresh is online, if you have questions, you can always email. So once again, the rule of thumb, when in doubt, just call, just ask, just email. And another thing about the grocery store is that you can call prior. Ever wonder when the grocery store actually stocks their fruits and vegetables so you can get the most fresh produce? You can call them. I called my local grocery store and I found that every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, that's when they start stocking up the new fruits and vegetables from delivery. And so every Wednesday, that's when I go get my fruits and vegetables because that's when I know they're going to be the freshest because they're coming right out the delivery truck and they're being placed right there on the food stands. And I don't have to wonder if I'm getting a bad fruit or a bad vegetable. So always call beforehand. And when you want to know when your local grocery store is stocking their produce, so you can get the freshest fruits and vegetables for you, yourself, or your family. So like I promised you guys, here is the recipes. You can simply just Google simply recipes, less stress, more joy. I love the tagline. Or you can get out your smartphone and you can use the QR code. And this is where I got the recipes from, those pictures to the left of all the individual meals. And you can Google more recipes that you can prepare for yourself that are simple, super easy. And guess what? All the ingredients can be bought with CalFresh. So make sure you apply for your CalFresh. And please fill out the assessment form. If you made it this far into the video, then you are a trooper, you are dedicated, you are my number one Uno fan. So please fill out the assessment form. Plus, my boss looks at it, so make me look good. I'm joking. I didn't say that. Yeah, I did. I'm joking. But anyways, I gotta have a personality. I gotta make this fun, right? It can't be all monotone and boring. So fill out the assessment form, please, because not only does it help me become a better facilitator or produce better materials, but it helps me know what you guys are thinking. I'm here at this computer creating all these ideas and creating these presentations, and I don't really get to get much interaction or feedback from my audience. So let me know. This is your opportunity to let me know what you guys want. I want to help you guys out. I want to make these webinars fun and entertaining, and most importantly, helpful. Helpful to you. So let me know and fill out the assessment form so I can help you. Help me help you. Right? And of course, if you have any questions, please email us. And we have the URL code to our website in the URL link. the QR code to our website and the URL link to our website. So you can go ahead and check out our website because we have lots of fun and great material for you guys, lots of resources, lots of programs to help you guys out. And as always, apply to CalFresh. We want 1,500 students to apply and we're only at 200. So please help us out, help us meet our goals. And thank you once again for watching our webinar series. I'll be back with you guys with a brand new webinar and I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys have fun and thank you so much for watching.